Well, welcome back. We've talked about a few other things. We've talked about how I look at things in terms of my philosophies, my approaches, the aspects of care. Now I'm just going to fill you in a little bit on what I do in terms of methods to help people to get well. I start with a thorough assessments with a long history and interviewing where we talk at length about what's going on with you. As I've said elsewhere, you are unique, and your situation and your problems, or those of your loved ones, are unique. So we do quite a bit of discussion and interviewing with your history, a system survey, and those kinds of things. I also look at your diet diaries, and yes, there are diaries to see exactly what you're eating. I am not a strict person when it comes to diet, but I do help people to tweak and to slowly move their diets into ways that helps them to get well and to get rid of those things that may be stressing the body. I also review any lab work or other tests that your doctor may have had you do. Once those initial assessments have been done, then I do what's called nutrition response testing. We are as much bioelectrical as we are biochemical, and I think sometimes we forget that, but that's why we drink electrolytes. We have EKGs, we have EEGs and such, because we have this whole electrical system in our body that's very bit as important as the chemical. It triggers things and keeps us moving and keeps us working. So basically, nutrition response testing is a way of looking at the body's reflexes in response to internal and external stimuli. Everybody remember this? It's just a toy, kid's toy with a bunch of wires inside. Just like to show you, we are bioelectrical, in case you were wondering. Did you know that the body has over 1 billion different biochemical and bioelectrical reactions going on every second? That's a little much to keep up with for us, but the body knows what it's about, and it does show what's going on by its own reflexes and how it responds. That is why I use nutrition response testing, and I have spent many hours learning this and similar techniques to check those very things. I also do a heart sound recording, which is a simple listening device that listens to the heart sounds and to the motion that the heart is making. See, the heart is the hungriest organ in the body. It's beating over 100,000 times a day. And so basically it tends to get the priority in terms of the nutrients that are in the body. So if the heart is looking like it's needing some nutrients, you can pretty well figure that there's a deficit within the entire body. I also use a heart rate variability monitor, which is simply a way of looking at the autonomic nervous system and to see how well it is up and down regulating and general physical fitness. After all of the assessments are done, then we look at creating a designed clinical nutrition plan for you. We look at the supplements that you may need. I use mostly whole food and herbs. Sometimes I do liquid herbal blending. There may be those rare times when I do use a synthetic or would recommend a synthetic high-dose vitamin of some sort for a short duration to get things moving sometimes, but it's not usually a long-term kind of a scenario with those because they're not as good at helping the body to heal as the whole food with a whole complex of everything that's in it. For example, a vitamin C is not just an ascorbic acid. That's simply the envelope that carries all of these other complexes within it, complexes, factors, cofactors, enzymes, all of these other things that are within what is truly a natural vitamin C. The body knows what to do with those things because it's natural. It's basically the software for the hardware, and it knows where to allocate it, and will allocate it even though we may think that we're helping this over here. The body may decide that it wants to pull it over and use it over there right now. So that's the beauty of using whole food, natural things like herbs and such. Now, if there's something that I see that's outside my scope of practice as a nurse, I do refer out, and I will help you to find someone. I also help people to work with their doctors, to talk with their doctors so that they understand what they're doing and see if there's anything that can be changed with their medications. I don't do that directly, but I can help you to help the doctor see what it is that's going on with you, and he can do his assessments to see if maybe he can wean you off of some of those medications. I also help you to understand the medications that you're taking. A couple more methods that I have in the office are, one is the detox foot baths. Now, for some of you who are familiar with those, you know that the water, which is going through an ionization process and such, will start changing colors before the feet ever go in, because that's what you do. It's a foot bath. And that is normal. That's natural because we're using tap water and there's chemicals and such things in the water. So that starts that process. However, properly done studies have shown the before and after doing these foot baths that many toxins, especially heavy metals, are pulled out of the body. And it's not unusual, at least for me, to think in terms of that happening, because as a former burn nurse, I understand just how excretory and how metabolically active the skin is as an organ. I think sometimes we forget that. The other thing I have in my office are pulsed electromagnetic field mats. Those are designed to help the body at a cellular level to readjust from the constant bombardment that we have from Wi-Fi's and microwaves and those kinds of things that do disrupt us at a cellular level, and this helps that to clear out and to balance out. I remember talking to my dad one time when I first started a lot of this, and he was an electronics design engineer who worked and developed many military applications over the course of his entire long career. And when I was talking to him about things like the pulse electromagnetic fields and the way of testing and stuff, he simply looked at me and he goes, "Oh, that's a no-brainer. We've known about these things for a long time. This is not unusual." Sometimes I do use essential oils, and I've been known to make customized blends for people at times using essential oils. I only use really pure essential oils. I do not trust just any essential oil that's out there, because they can be filled with synthetics and contaminants, or not even have what they say they have in it. I just want to say that over the years, I have seen these techniques work really well. They take time, that slow and gentle movement towards true health and true wellness and such. In fact, I had a couple of different people whose gastrointestinal systems were so bad they would totally shut down, and to the point that their gastroenterologists were telling them that they were looking at having to have a colectomy, that is, to remove a whole piece of the colon and to put in a colostomy bag. That is not something doctors like to see happen to their patients, honestly. So when I started working with them, that was the situation. But over time, they actually really improved. In fact, they did a whole 180, and their bowels started moving again, and they have totally normal bowel movements at the end of the work. So there you have it. And I do appreciate your stopping in and listening to all of this. I hope this was helpful and to help you make a decision on direction you might want to go with your loved ones or for yourself and such in your search for real, true health and wellness. Thank you, and God bless.